Crowd the ref, beat on my chest, might get a tag. What you expect? They know I'm a dog, I go at their neck. The screen on reject, I'm leaning them left. I mean with the left, but I'm snatching them right. About to take flight, yikes. 94 feet, you full court press, don't impress. Move like a vet, high, got them upset, yeah. Stress, 3 so wet. Make a head coach, switch up the defensive set, that's better than stretch. Study your film, get you some rest. Ballin' since a little one from a pee-wee, I been elite. Been a walking bucket, high school highlights all on TV. From the Julie to a new league, you barely hooped in PE. Killer kinda skinning like a team at Hoop the VC. They in beast mode. Walking cheat code. This shit easy. Like a free throw. They talk real hoops. 94 feet though. They talk real hoops. 94 feet though.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to the 94 Feet Podcast. I'm your host Cam Tatum.
It's Skinny the Pebble.
And today, man, we got a great show for you guys, man. We got a couple guests on here, man, that really don't need no introduction, but we're going to give it to you anyway. We got two Northside legends, man, hailing out of Berkmar, man. We got the Spoon brothers, Wynton and Wesley Witherspoon, man. Y'all give it up for them. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. What time it is, man. Y'all doing all right?
Always.
Hey, you want to ask them the first
question,
question,
man? Question we all ask when you come to the stage, man. Who's the first person to give y'all work, man? Want first? Well, he said,
Yeah, I think I'm obligated to say Chris Allen right here.
That's the name there for sure.
I think I'm obligated because the anybody that was around when I was at Berkmar, you couldn't get into them Berkmar Meadow Creek games because everybody, for one, wanted to see Chris, and then the wheels started turning for me at that same time. So the games between me and Chris Allen in high school were crazy, and he got the best of me a bunch of those games.
Is Chris older than you?
Yeah, about 1 year. He's 07. I'm 08.
Okay.
But yeah, Cam was Chris was tough. Chris was for sure tough.
Sure, man. Shout out CA, man. We got to get you on the show, bro.
Well, I'm going to have to say, now I was actually going to say Reese Rice from Boston College, man, because I really didn't remember nobody from high school that did much of anything against me. But I'm going to give Archie Millway his flowers from North College. I think he had a 30-piece, and I think I had caught a couple of those buckets. So
Archie Millway, man, I forgot about that name myself.
They call him North, but they call him North Lanes out, man.
That's what I'm saying. No, see, that's the point. Like, nobody wants to respect the hoopers that came from the North, man. Like, it's a bunch of guys that really, that went on to do some great things from Gwinnett County, man.
I don't know. I will take the other argument on that. I think that, especially guys coming from the east side, I think that we looked at it from you guys' standpoint that you guys got all, the opportunities, the limelight, because you had the nicer schools,
the facilities.
Each one of y'all schools have a football field. You know what I'm saying? Even the worst school. I mean, if I heard no disrespect, but I heard Meadow Creek was probably the worst school out of all the Gwinnett schools.
You saying they football-wise?
No. I'm talking about school-wise. I'm talking about like people. I'm talking about like just in the school.
We would call it Ghetto Creek. Especially when we were talking
about
we call Meadow Creek Ghetto.
Shiloh is now because Shiloh, they basically reclassed their whole school to Stone Mountain.
I mean, that's the DeKalb County. I mean, Shiloh is like a Gwinnett DeKalb County school. But when we was in school.
Okay.
No. Back when I was in high school, it was definitely Meadow Creek.
It was Meadow Creek when we was in school.
It wasn't even close. Shiloh was half white.
Yeah, that's serious. The Snellville,
Shiloh, and I learned this when I transferred from being a basketball player to an educator. South Gwinnett and Shiloh High School are the only two schools in the state of Georgia that take transfer students. Meaning, if you're on Rule 12 at Tucker, before they send you to the alternative school, you can transfer and go to Shiloh or South Gwinnett, and it's like the slate is clean.
There's a few kids that actually went to Tucker that transferred went to South Gwinnett.
Man. So listen, man, South Gwinnett and Shiloh High School are literally Eastside High with Joe Clark and them. It's two schools where everybody is on that same type of timing. And if you grow up in that cluster, you kind of just get caught in thinking that it's regular, and it's not regular over there. It's different.
From living over there, I agree with you. But when we was coming up,
Meadow Creek.
Man, what? Because you got to think Meadow Creek and Tucker on the line. So, like, if you're on the Gwinnett side of Tucker, you go to Meadow Creek or you might slide into Parkview. We look at Meadow Creek and like, but when you go see the facility, especially when you're coming from the old Tucker, like, bro, You
Like I
played at
said,
the old Tucker.
Yeah, it was tough.
They got football facilities.
Man,
That's
it was
what I'm
definitely
saying.
better
So
for-
it's like we looked at it with
Yeah.
y'all. Like y'all already had, people weren't scared to come to y'all gym.
Yeah.
They didn't want to come to our gyms. Not necessarily because something was going to happen to them, but just because I'd rather go to a nicer gym and go watch these players. I can get Chick-fil-A or something like that at the concession stand
Man.
with us. With most
Papa
people gonna
John.
get us some nachos and
Nachos.
some
That thick ass
the
cheese.
thick,
on
you know what I'm
Listen.
saying? The thick,
The
nasty
thick
shit,
hot dogs.
bruh, like.
Y'all got hyper white lights and stuff.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we
It's
got
just
the
more
orange bulbs and
The
stuff.
shit take
man.
15 minutes.
You had to
come
cut
on.
it off for real. You had to cut the light on and literally wait and be like,
Yeah.
and then it just go, then it just come
Yeah.
on, right?
Y'all had if y'all ran out of something, y'all could go
Y'all
to the
had
store and
it,
then go back and get
man.
candy, man. They ran out. I'm sorry, so we out for the rest.
We
You don't have that.
out.
What do you mean? You had a whole backlog and girls.
But that's
in
just
the
All
poor
right,
preparation.
Cam, I'm not jacking the fact y'all
That's
just trying
poor
to, y'all trying to
preparation. That's
make
not-
it seem
that's
like
not a
y'all
cons-
just a
that's not
third
like a
world
little
country,
side
bro. We not doing
No,
that.
that's
Say
poor
that.
We not
preparation.
doing that. We
said
not
that.
doing that,
But I
bro.
did say that.
No.
But I
We
did
not
say
doing
that it
that.
wasn't like. But it was a big difference.
But
A
y'all
big,
school
big
system,
difference.
like you got to think, like we
A
coming
big
up, DeKalb
difference.
County is like one of the top school systems at one point.
Yeah, I'm not arguing
Yeah,
that, but
but
what,
with that-
what Cam how he just tried to describe it
It's the
was
truth.
like they
Bro,
was a third world
it's-
country,
listen,
bro. We not
we come-
jacking that,
listen,
bro.
Okay.
We come up in Gwinnett County playing Buford and stuff. We just looking at y'all facilities. Y'all got 3 and 4 uniforms. Y'all ain't
That's
paying
all
no
we saying,
basketball.
Y'all
dude.
wasn't Bucket Brigade. Shit, y'all
Hey.
trying to act like we just privileged or something.
I
No,
Hey,
hell
that's
no.
how we looked at it.
We
Though.
was out there on the corner with buckets and shit, getting chains and
We
shit.
did too.
We
We was
wasn't-
up there with
we
Bernie
kept with
Jones
Crib
getting
and selling
fucked up
Crib
with
and
Bernie
cream.
Brigade.
Yeah, what y'all coach did with y'all money ain't our business. Hell.
We wasn't doing bucket
Our
brigade.
coach bought our jerseys.
We wasn't doing bucket
We
brigade.
was
We was that
the
good.
we was the original water boys before these Atlanta kids.
We was
the
that
original
good.
ones out
Hey,
there.
we selling
We
Krispy Kreme donut. One donut for $2, man.
We got nice jerseys
Damn fool,
because
we
we had
bought
good
one,
Bro,
players.
we some Krispy Kreme, bro. Them shit's hard as hell, but we throwing them at each other, man. Hey,
said,
bro.
we
Car
got-
washes, man.
Come on now.
We got nice jerseys because we had good players. Before Wayne came,
Oh, you
they was
saying they
wearing
want
the
shit?
same jerseys.
You saying they
And
want
then
shit?
when Wayne came, we started getting new jerseys every year because we had Nike behind us.
We ain't have Nike. We
But
had
that's what I'm saying.
protein.
But
Hey, we had protein, man.
And we had exactly. And we still had a state championship banner
Banners,
with that.
hey, we
So
had
that don't
protein,
mean
bro.
that
nothing.
can't
That
Y'all
don't
got
mean
one?
nothing.
You
Huh?
said y'all had one?
At the time we did have one.
my coach got y'all that championship.
Huh?
You did that first one, 95?
Carter?
No.
Nah,
Boyd.
Boy.
Boy got y'all that championship.
Boy, in 95.
With LeBerry and
LeBerry
Cheeks.
Cheeks. And Carter Woods took us back
Yeah.
in 99.
LeBerry
when
used
we-
to come talk to us.
when we-
And Deion Glover. All them used to
But
come
see,
talk
that,
to us.
but I think that was, and that's one of the things that me and Cam talk about, right? I knew LeBerry, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a relationship with him. I don't have a relationship with Cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Mo, who the principal at Tucker now, was on that team as well.
Yeah.
Eric Parker, Dr. Parker. But none of our OGs ever came back. But now it makes sense now because our OGs was over there with y'all.
Right, because they
It's their
play
coach, though.
under Boyd.
Yeah.
It's kind of
That's
like
real.
what's going on at Berkmar now, which I ain't gonna get into, but
Oh, we're going to get into that.
Nah,
I
we
guess
ain't
we'll
talking
get
about
into
it.
that later.
We're going to get into it just a little bit later. But right now, man, like I said, but you guys' name, man, what a lot of people may not know, I didn't really realize it until I really got to know more about you, that this was your older brother. So, and even before that, I knew about him. He's older than me. You came out, what year class you came out? 04. So you came out a few years before me, and I knew about you. I heard about you. I seen you playing with the Stars and stuff like that. But I didn't even know that you guys had an older brother that really kind of paved the way for you guys. Can you talk a little bit about him? I wish we could have him on here. Shout out to Will.
And Will graduated 2000, and I think he still hold the record for most triple doubles.
Okay. In Georgia history or in
I don't know
Berkmar?
about
I don't know
Georgia
about
history, but I
Georgia.
know about
Gwinnett
Gwinnett
County
County
for sure.
history for sure.
And I think he's the all-time assist leader.
Yeah, now, and we talking about
2000.
20 years later. And we done seen some great players come through the system, come through Gwinnett County, and none of them doing what he did then. And mind you, he got a runner-up state champion, and he got a ring.
He did that at Berkmar as
at
well.
Berkmar.
So he really, really set the tone for you. So going into you, where did you come from out of it? Following your brother's footsteps.
I mean, I think that's just how it is having three brothers. Like, we just competitive. Like, everything is competitive. So he was really good, but I want to be better. So I was in 7th grade trying to be better than my brother. I didn't care about the 7th graders. They was trash. I wanted to be better than my brother. He's 4 years older than me. So I'm in 8th grade with the same mentality. So by the time I get to 9th grade, he gone doing his thing. And now I got another big brother in Wayne. So now I'm trying to be better than Wayne. So it really just the competitiveness in me just
Wayne Arnold.
Wayne Arnold. Kind of just carried on. I just continue to try to be better than somebody who's better than me.
Now, what big brother signed? Where he signed to?
He actually went to the Air Force Academy out of high school,
Okay.
which was a prep school, not the school. And then he ended up going to Life after he did his year at the prep school.
He head coaching now in Walton County, right?
Yeah, Walnut Grove, doing big things.
Yeah.
So now, you know, as he goes off in the Air Force and he starts to do his thing, and you now coming into your own. You're now in high school, and you're now the man. So now I see you average 24 and seven rebounds and 3 assists. So now you're the man. So now can you talk about how you're recruiting heated up, and what part did your brother play in helping you in that factor?
First off, whoever was the statistician who only said I had 24 was lying, fam. I don't know who did that. Definitely averaging 30 balls.
Okay,
So that's on record.
So they shouted you. They
They
shouted you.
definitely showed me.
Yeah.
They probably had Chad with 15 or something. No, not you, Chad. You my guy. So you said, how did that play into my recruitment?
Well, that's his whole train of thought right there. You heard
Hey,
24.
you
That's
said
a whole
20.
that nigga said, hold on.
24?
So let's get the right. So it was 30.
Nah, I averaged 26 and a half, bro.
Okay.
It wasn't 24.
It wasn't 24.
It definitely wasn't 24.
I need that 27.
And I got a newspaper article in my
I
phone.
actually thought you was second behind Lou.
No, I was third behind Lou and Billy. I was third behind Lou and Billy. Definitely 27.
It's
But
definitely 27.
and then when you round that, you get to 30. That's how I got to 30.
That's right.
But how I played my recruitment. Funny thing is about my recruitment, right? I had a lot of mid majors and a couple of high major schools recruit me at first. So how I ended up with Virginia Tech is actually a story. So Georgia, Virginia Tech was like the major schools recruit me. I had a bunch of mid majors like UT Chattanooga, UNC Charlotte, schools like that recruit me, George Washington, whatever. So I actually got to be a senior exemption because I was unsigned.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Kingwood with the 17 and under from class of 05
Kingwood Classic, the AAU tournament in Houston.
with Team Georgia. And I actually got my buzz playing against the Georgia Stars and Lou and them. Well, I originally wanted to go to Georgia, but Felton had just got there. Herrick had just was on his way out, and they would change a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, they would change a whole bunch of stuff, and me and Felton just never got on the same page. And then Hewitt was on a mountaintop.
At Tech.
Yeah, and that's how he talked to you. He talked to you like he was like.
I mean, yeah,
He's
because
better.
he just coming off the national championship run.
He-
yeah.
So when Hewitt called my phone to offer me, he said, well, the White's going to declare for the NBA, and Randolph is going to Kentucky, so we got a scholarship for you, so you should come to Georgia Tech. That's how he offered me.
Yo.
And so I'm on my too, so I'm like, I'm good.
Oh, yo.
I never put him in my top 5. I'm good. Like, that's how you call my phone.
So that's how Tech get crossed.
That's how Tech got
That
crossed
is insane.
They got crossed up before they got called on.
Real quick. Same thing happened with the guy in Georgia. Who's the coach you just said at Georgia? Felton. He came to me, and Mercer and Billy was already there. And I came actually on Lewis Williams draft night. And he was like, well, it looks like Lou is about to go to the league, man. So, I mean, shit, Lou going to the league, scholarship, you know what I'm saying? We got, scholarship is here for you. And respectfully, I know Lou is who he was and stuff like that, but how you felt was like how I felt. I'm like, bro, I'm my own player too. I'm my own dog too. Respect me. So I get that. I get that. So that falls through with Georgia Tech. You take the disrespect from it. You like, bro, nah, it's you ain't finna try me like that. And I'm your hometown kid. Like, come on, what's up? What we doing here?
And then the rest of the schools that came on, they came on late, and I kind of was on some loyalty type stuff when I went to Virginia Tech. It was like they've been recruiting me the whole time, number love the whole time. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be loyal to this team that was loyal to me, which to my listeners or to his listeners, terrible idea. Go with the best. The best option for you, what fits you. Ain't no loyalty in this.
Say it one more time, son.
Go
Say it
with
one
the
more
best
time,
option
son.
that fits you. There is no loyalty in this.
Like I said, man, on the show we're gonna be dropping gems, man, and like I hope some of you young fellas take heed to some of the things that we saying.
Hey, we need
You
like
know,
an
it's
explosion.
Yeah,
Boom.
it's real life. It's real life stuff that happened, and you know these guys are going through it, and you're gonna go through it too. So hopefully that you guys can learn something.
I got you.
So you go to Virginia Tech, and it's not the best situation. And what can you know talk about why it wasn't the best situation?
Oh yeah, cool. So I get to Virginia Tech. He shows me a roster, and I was loving the roster. Right.
Who's on that roster? If any,
Jamon Gordon, Xavier Didell, Coleman Collins, bunch of
Oh,
great players,
Collins.
right? But my position was wide open. I was battling with another freshman who I felt at the time.
RP Big
Was-
Al, man.
Oh yeah, all right, definitely RPL. But I felt like I was battling with a player that was completely different to me. He was more like a 4-3 tweener, and I was more like a natural 3-2 even at the time. So they showed me this roster, and the roster's perfect. They failed to mention the Big East Player of the Year that sat out the year before because of a torn ACL. They didn't say nothing about Carlos Powell, and he was clearly Carlos Dixon, my bad. Carlos Dixon, he was clearly our best player. So I go into a situation playing behind a former Big East Player of the Year in our first year in the ACC, right? They completely failed to mention it, and I didn't do no research. I was going off of what they were saying. Yeah, so if it wasn't for Carlos, then he wasn't on the roster that they showed me. So, you know, that was one of the main reasons I went there, because I seen an opening for me.
Well, you gonna play and be able to just step in and at a major school, ACC, but then you didn't have all the facts to make you. If you'd have seen that, you'd have probably made a different decision at that time.
Possibly would have made a different decision. I was still on some loyalty nonsense because that's who I am to the core. I wasn't aware that that's not how I'm supposed to be when it comes to business decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that happens in my sophomore year. I get injured, come back, have a great comeback, you know what I'm saying, versus Florida State, North Carolina, Duke. I mean, what I came back to was crazy, but then I came back and I kind of blasted off, and I had a really good comeback. And then that's when me and the coaching staff kind of had a difference in opinions. And that's what led to my transfer to
I like the way you said that. Bro.
Difference of opinion.
That was well said. Difference in opinions is well said.
Man, he's a professional, man.
Yeah, because I'd have said something different.
I mean, they really.
You can get your shit.
So your vision and their vision just didn't line up.
I was getting a little attention from the next level, and I guess that didn't fit in his long-term plan. And when I came back, when I say I blasted on the scene, I really did. Dick Vitale gave me a nickname. Shout out to Dick Vitale. But
PT Pier, baby.
yeah,
Nah,
he gave
it
me
was
a
kinda
nickname.
Rubber
Rubber
Band
Band,
Man.
man. He gave me a nickname. Like I really got some attention from the next level. Not saying that was the path I was on, but if I continued doing what I was doing,
You're
that
gonna
might
learn
have
for
been an
yourself.
option, right? And so after that, I really got, I don't want to say, but effed over, for lack of better terms. Like, versus Maryland, we had a lot of next level scouts there, and I started the game, but I didn't play much. He took me out like at the beginning. I didn't play much, and then the next 4 or 5 games, I didn't play much either. And by the time we got to the ACC tournament, I played 4 seconds in our only game in the ACC tournament.
What is 4 seconds?
He put me in with 4 seconds in the end of the first half.
What you supposed to?
You know what I mean? Like you just
What does it look like
somebody-
on paper?
Somebody
So
might
it gives
have
you a
fouled.
game.
Do it say 1 minute or is
No, it's
0?
0-0-4. That's what it says because they did the minutes and seconds at that
I
time.
played like 30 seconds one time. That bitch came up with 1 minute.
Yeah,
I was mad because I'm like, nah, bitch. I ain't playing 1 minute. I
Nah,
played 30 seconds.
I played 4 seconds. The last 4 seconds of the first half, and what it does is it brings the stats down when he does stuff like that.
Because you
So-
get a game played.
So you get a game play. So when my
So
stats would have
average is getting killed.
yeah,
he
so
had- he
he's
had-
bringing my
against-
average down by playing me
Against
BS
Florida
minutes.
and Carolina, he really was going crazy. That was one of them times, like, I'm like, my brother's on ESPN, and he's killing right now. Like, and it's the Carolina team with, you know, Sean May and all that. Yeah. So, you know,
North Carolina.
yeah, so, you
Nah,
know.
that was Tyler Hansborough team though.
That was a year after. That's a year after
That
that's
wasn't
championship.
May,
That was Danny Green, Tyler Hansborough.
Yeah, year after that's the year after that's
the
championship.
May
team,
team,
right?
they beat us by 70.
That's your freshman year. They
Yeah,
beat
my
y'all by
freshman year,
70.
they beat the life
That's
out of
national
us.
championship team.
I
Your
was
freshman
The
year.
national championship team.
That's
That
national
championship
Rashawn
team.
McCann, Sean May,
Man, I
Marvin
came to
Williams.
Blacksburg.
They beat. Now I don't think it was 70, but they beat the life. They beat the life out of us so bad that the bench players got in with like 14 minutes left. The walk-ons got on at like 6 minutes. That's how bad the beating was.
So you got a difference of opinion, and so now you changing.
I go to GW
You're there with
in DC.
you're there with Pinnock.
JR played the year I was redshirting, but yeah, JR,
Pops was
Pops,
there.
uh,
It's one of
Carl
somebody
Elliott.
else. Carl Elliott.
Omar
I
Williams,
played against
Mike
him
Hall.
in Venezuela.
Call it dog.
Y'all had a squad in
Call
George
it
Mason.
dog.
Good
Yes,
night.
yes. I go there.
Bro, I'm just a national champion. Well, I mean, y'all would. Okay,
They're making
go ahead.
They're
Go
making runs.
ahead. If y'all, if anybody has forgotten that
They're
team,
making runs.
anybody has forgotten that team, he's about to remind you, man. Like that
Nah,
team
yeah,
was something serious,
so,
bro.
The year I was at Virginia Tech, they made a deep run to the playoffs. Oh, I'm gonna tell the story. Chill out.
I ain't saying nothing, bro.
They make a deep run into the tournament. So my redshirt year, they make it to the Sweet 16. So, but my first year playing, JR's gone, Carl's gone, Pops is gone, Omar's gone, Mike's gone.
You got that attention.
Oh,
They
that's-
gone.
Reese Rice is in his senior year, and
And he licking his chops.
he's licking his chops. But Carl Hobbs is the coach at GW. He goes into future mode. And Reese is a senior, and where does he fit at in future mode? He doesn't. Reese ended up quitting halfway through the year. Quit his senior year of basketball. Stayed in school and finished school, but didn't play basketball no more.
Wow.
In his senior year. Yeah, I think he averaged 18 before he quit.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Hobbs was in future mode, building for the future.
Difference of opinion.
Difference in opinion. I mean, he didn't feel like he could be good that year, so he started building for the future. I was a junior, so in your head, me and Diggs, and we looking at the situation like,
They're gonna do
where do I fit in the future? Right? Me and Cheyenne is there as well. We all sitting there like, where do we fit in this future? Cheyenne Moore, he went to Clemson, then he went to GW, same time I did. But we like, where do we fit in the future? So he has his big freshman class coming in for my senior year. Gives him a bunch of minutes. I get suspended for no reason. I missed 11 games my senior year for no reason. I don't say he didn't have a reason. He just didn't disclose the reason to me or my parents or the media.
Who was y'all's biggest recruit?
That signed? I think David Pelham. He actually went to Memphis. Funny thing, he said that.
Hold on. You got suspended. And it was never disclosed to you why you suspended your senior year.
Right. Yeah. At first we thought it was just, he was upset about something that transpired. So I just thought he benched me for a game. Then we went out to Cali. I didn't play out there neither. Mind you, we won one game during this whole stretch I was suspended, and that was versus Sacramento State.
They was doodle.
So Sacramento State was bad.
Terrible.
It was real.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
And then we go out to Hawaii to play in a tournament, not to Maui. Then we go out there, get 30 ball, 0-3 while we was out there. Then we come back, we start to 8-10, losing games, close games, but we still losing. So then we play, we got a little break on the 8-10. We played Loyola Marymount. I don't know if y'all remember, not the one in Cali, the one in Virginia. What's the name of that school? Loyola something. They was on the nation's longest losing streak. We made the ticker on this game because I'm sitting there and we losing. About 12 minutes left in the game, he say, "Spoon, go get Aaron." Bro, I only got my jersey. The managers had to run to the locker room and go get my jersey. I wasn't even wearing my jerseys no more because I was suspended, but I didn't know why, and I didn't know when it was going to be lifted. I just was sitting there.
No conversation.
What was going on in practice? Were you not practicing?
I was practicing with Scout Squad.
Oh yeah, so when you're on the Scout Squad, you're out there.
Handling.
No, we was killing. He had me and a player named Miles Beatty on Scout Squad, and it was to the point where they were practicing against second unit. They were teaching the second unit the plays because Scout Squad got ugly.
Sometimes South Squad do get like that. I ain't gonna lie. South Squad can get ugly. It can get ugly like that. Especially a couple get suspended. A couple of the walk-ons be a little decent, can play a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So Scout team can get ugly a little bit. Trust me.
The main thing about South Squad is, you know, them times when you're on offense, you're on offense for
You gunning. You gunning. Listen, hey, you are. So like, you're the best player. So like when we played y'all at Memphis, at the time we had somebody had to be Tyreek coming off the being. Oh man, somebody.
Yeah. I was on Scout Squad. I got to be Deontay Christmas. I don't know if y'all remember him.
Absolutely, I played from Temple.
Yeah, from Temple. Man, what?
Absolutely.
It got bad because
Him and
now
Mark
you're
Tyndall.
talking about you're talking about green light in practice. Shoot everything.
Yeah.
Oh, what? I'm out there.
Yeah,
That's bad work. When you're on the scout team, you really get the
You really trying to show them like, hey man, take
got
me
me
off
fucked
the
up.
scout team, bro. You got me messed up.
I did a 2-week deal on the scout team because it's over now. That scout team like having silent lunch because cafeteria.
You go to the locker room,
see all your friends.
You can't even really talk to the team. They talking to this like, hey, bro, why you doing this in this play? Like, I can't talk to this because I wasn't part of the scout team. But hey, bro, you saw what he did? Don't talk to me, bro. I was on scout team. I'm mad.
Yeah, nah.
So you on scout? So they put you in with 12 minutes to go against the team that got the worst.
Yeah, the nation's worst team. We ended up losing.
Make the
broke their streak.
Broke their losing streak, yeah. And then after that, I played the rest of the season, but I never started. I remember one game I played 39 minutes and didn't start. Like he was just that guy. Like my coach was just that guy.
He was him.
He wasn't gonna start me. So he decided I wasn't starting, so I wasn't starting.
So let's rewind back. So you know you about to transfer.
Yeah. What
made you pick GW? I'm pretty sure you rubber band man can go, you know what I'm saying, different places.
Well, I had reached out to Jeff Lebo at Auburn, telling him I was thinking about transferring. Him and Seth Greenberg had a relationship. So he calls Seth Greenberg, tells him what I'm saying. And so at that point, I was like, I want to play for a black coach.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, I want to play for a black coach. I want to play for somebody who's outside of this ring so I don't end up on the short end of things, which, I mean, in hindsight, that didn't work out.
Doesn't really matter.
Right. But I wanted to play for a black coach, so that was important. And I mean, I would have went to Memphis. I ain't gonna lie to you, but Dozier and Taggart and Kyler Perry wasn't on the same page at the time. That they was more my introductory to Memphis. Wesley was still in sophomore, junior high school.
No.
Yeah,
He might have been a freshman.
I was a junior.
Sophomore, junior. That's what I said.
I thought you said freshman, sophomore.
No, sophomore, junior. So he hadn't really started his real recruitment.
Oh yeah.
So you know, my whole life, like we're 4 years apart. So he's 4 years from Will, I'm 4 years from him. So literally, we miss each other by a year. You know, and
4 years.
And your whole life,
so you never got to play with you.
Growing up, it's like a mythical thing. Like it's like a, you know, I wanna, if I could just get 1 year
with my brother.
Like I just want 1 year. So while all this is happening with him, now my recruitment is starting to pick up.
So you got a blueprint now.
Literally,
Yeah,
so I'm seeing how it's happening. Like I'm seeing what's going on. So off the wham for me, the schools that did him bad recruiting wise, when they called me, first day I'm not coming. You don't even gotta call me back. Don't worry about it.
I know what it is.
The Virginia Techs, the Georgia Techs, all them schools that did him bad, don't worry about it, because now you know it's he was really, really good.
And now I'm really, 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 really good.
No, the thing is, he was way better. He was way better offensively than I was.
No, I'm not saying that.
Hey, you saying you really, 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 hey, bro. You shorted your realness, bro.
Time out. In that aspect, first of all, he's got a couple inches on you.
No.
So
he's more recruited than me.
Yo, pause.
You done took your 4 points and your realness, bro.
Come on, right? For real. Seriously. You got. He's taller than you by a couple.
Nah, he was
inches.
more recruited than me. I ain't gonna lie.
So,
he was a Jordan All-American. All those things.
So if we're gonna be real, we're being real. That's what I'm saying. But he, at this point, he had the hype at that point in time.
But yeah, and that was
Just
my
to keep
thing.
it a bean.
Like
Keep
that
it
was
being real.
my thing. Like Wynton almost kind of had to. He had to approach his recruiting different because he was way better than a lot of them guys that was highly touted. And, you know, by the time people figured it out, it was almost like it was too late. So he almost had to settle when it came to the schools that he could pick and choose from.
But he
And that
also
wasn't-
battling against the thing of no exposure.
That's
Like,
what I'm
it's
saying.
different
Like,
with
he
y'all,
didn't
with
he
you
didn't
too.
he didn't get a chance to really, like, every time he got on a stage to where he could play against guys that were really, you know, that was highly recruited. And, you know, one game I remember because I was in the car with him. His team was playing at the Peace Jam in Augusta, and they're playing against the Gauchos. And the Gauchos is Sundiata Gaines and the
Boy, that went to Pittsburgh. He was so good.
Russell Kid.
Levance Fields.
No,
No, not Fields.
He's his age. He was light skinned. I forget his name.
Yeah, I can't think his name either. But, you know, that Gauchos team was really good. And Wynton got there because he had to take the SAT. He got there like 3 minutes before halftime. And he finished the game at like 28. And people is like, wait, like, who the hell is this kid? Like, why ain't nobody talking about this kid? But, you know, by that time, it's almost over. But, you know, these college coaches, a lot of time is, you know, is they see something and it look good. But I don't want to be the first one to try it out. You feel me? So if you a coach and I see you looking at it, shit, I'm gonna start looking at it too. And you know, by that time when that started happening, it was too late. But for me, I got to see it from a different light because when my recruiting picked up, it blasted. And now I got everybody in the nation, you know.
I played against Double R in goddamn Dominican Republic. He
Right.
played at no, I played against him in Brazil. Sorry, I played against Brazil. He was playing against I know that, yeah, shooter.
Yeah, but he was cold.
Yeah.
But he was probably
Yeah.
because they supposed to have Seabass on that team, but he never went to nothing. So he spent most of his senior year ranked number 2, I think, behind Dwight, but he didn't go to nothing. Like he ain't show up to Peace Jam. He ain't go out to Vegas. Like he really didn't show up to much of nothing. Like he played when he wanted to, I guess. I ain't seen him in no tournaments the entire year. Dwight and them played Adidas circuit, so back then it wasn't no EYBL, it was Adidas and Nike circuit. So
This is before Under Armour too. Under Armour wasn't a thing either.
I don't know if it even exists then.
Yeah, because you know when we was growing up, we had tournaments where it didn't matter if it was Nike, Adidas, it didn't matter. Like Bob Gibbons, one of those tournaments. Bob Gibbons, anybody come to Bob Gibbons, and you know they took Bob Gibbons away the tournament when it was in Carolina because you play games at Duke, you play games at Carolina, you play games at NC State, you play games at Wake Forest, and when the college scene got introduced into AAU basketball, they made it seem like those schools had an unfair advantage. So they moved it. They took that tournament out. And then we had another one, a really good tournament growing up was the Super Showcase down in Orlando at the Wild World of Sports. And you know, this was all before the EYBL circuit and the AAU, the Under Armour circuit, the Gauntlet. Like this was before all that. So if your team was nice at Bob Gibbons, we don't worry about it because we gonna see you. Don't worry about it. Y'all don't got ain't no duck. It wasn't no duck and no wreck back then. You gonna have to play against the best of the best, and that's just what it is. Like now, if you're a Nike kid, like you'll never see the kid on the Adidas circuit because he playing a whole different circuit to you. Yeah, the whole EYBL thing for me is ridiculous because they don't even play to win tournaments. Like everything is like a round robin to get the Peace Jam.
Points,
Yeah, like you play the same teams at all these tournaments just to play them again at Peace Jam for bragging rights. And for me, it just don't make no sense.
So after your G-Dub, did you try the professional route?
I did the professional thing. I traveled a little bit. It was cool. I definitely got some good experience out of it. You know, my professional basketball ended in the D League, which is cool because
Same team play.
Bakersfield. Okay.
Nah, I didn't play Bakersfield. I went to Santa Cruz Warriors.
Okay.
It started in Des Moines. Funny thing about my professional career, I actually started in Des Moines, and then I traveled, and then I ended in Santa Cruz. Actually, I didn't really even play for Santa Cruz. It was just that's where it ended.
And that was it for you. Just
Once I went out there and I got a taste of that
politics.
politics and just everything, I was just like, I'm cool. And I came home. I introduced Lil Wynton to the world, and it was a wrap for basketball.
Mm-hmm. So now it's like, all right, now I'm focusing on Lil Bro. I'm trying to make sure I can try to guide and help Lil Bro as much way, that I can while I'm still trying to figure this thing out myself.
Right, yeah. So once he came on the scene, it was like, all right, cool. Now it's time to hit the work scene.
You're already seen it. So
Right,
you know
yeah.
what he gonna expect now. You already know what he about to see.
So I hit the work scene, and then, his mother made it so I had to stay on my P's and Q's. So I really wasn't comfortable doing no traveling.
Did you just say his mother?
He said his mother.
His mother.
You talking about your child's mother?
Yeah.
Not talking about
not his
y'all's
mama.
mom.
Oh, okay.
I thought you was
I
talking
thought you
about
talking about his
y'all's
mama too.
mom. I'm talking about.
I'm out there too. I was like,
talking
I
about
got my
Hey, I saw thinking the same thing too.
I got two different mamas.
Yeah, my son's
I'm
mother
about to
made
say,
it.
oh, this is news. Oh, breaking news. Breaking news on this motherfucker. The school's got two different mothers. Holy
This is
shit.
a 94 feet
Wait,
exclusive.
Yeah,
Right.
that would have been for real talk. I might have got back on ESPN with that one.
Boy, hey.
Man, what?
Rubber band man.
Hey, Papa Spoon,
hey, hey.
Big Spoon, you got some explaining
What?
to do.
Nah. My son's mother made it so I wasn't really trying to go. I had a couple more opportunities, but I just had to be close to him. You know what I'm saying? Because he needed that. So.
And can you say a part of it as well as you going through it? Did some of your love for the game start to fade? You think?
When I left Santa Cruz, I definitely went on a real binge where it was food, alcohol, and no basketball.
Because life was basketball.
Right, and
Then you take it away.
It didn't get taken away. I just quit. Like I just lost it. Like it was just like this is not
Too many obstacles.
Yeah, this
it's
is
just
BS.
kind of like, man,
Like,
what am I fighting for?
When I went out there, like 25. Yeah, so when I went out there, I was like, man, I'm cool on basketball. I'm enjoying life. I had a little money in my pocket. I'm enjoying life at this point. So it wasn't a happy hour I was trying to miss at that point.
Back in Atlanta?
Right.
This was 07, 08?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So now, some transitioning. So now we got Lil Bro. We got Lil Bro West coming up. When you were finished, and I know it's kind of hard to really pay attention to him as you're going through it with you know what I'm saying, with your college professional career. But now you're coming back, you're touching down. Now you see Lil Bro. Where's Lil Bro at in this stage of his career?
Well, he had a couple tough decisions that he made that I didn't agree with, but I supported him in.
Okay.
And both of those decisions had to do with returning to Memphis to play basketball.
We talking about so when you were finished,
So
you
I was back and forth. Like once you professional basketball, you gone for 6 months, you home for
back out.
you gone for 3 months, you home, whatever. So I was around for a lot of this.
we talking about like we taking it back to high school days. We taking it back to when he was before he became Wesley Witherspoon in Memphis with San Antonio. We talking about the Wesley Witherspoon that's even before it becomes the number 27 player ranked, by Rise Magazine. We're talking about
27.
About Rise Magazine. That's Rise Magazine. Relax. That's just one thing.
Rise Magazine.
Hey,
Rise Magazine
he taking your realities back, man.
Yeah, Rise Magazine. They had a little
ESPN
something.
said 24.
Yeah, they had a little something. Rise Magazine had a little thing that was pretty popular for me. I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember.
I don't know if they still around.
I don't think they are still
That's
around.
probably why. Cause that's false narratives.
They didn't know what they were doing.
Apparently, them alternative facts,
Hey,
man.
they said
Alternative
the
facts.
thing
I
was
gotta
said.
tell you
The
about
thing was said in its. That's in theirs. Other rivals had you at number 34, number 5. In small forward in the nation. Scout Hoops got you at number 12. ESPN got you at number 48, number 9 overall.
The internet is a tricky place, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, understand.
And this coming from the home folks though.
What is
Yeah,
this?
I was
This Memphis.
Funny thing is, while he's looking up his
Tigers.
stats, man, when Wesley was in high school getting his
Memphis
buzz
Tigers
on,
now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
my favorite
Tigers.
thing
And
to
look,
do
Look,
at
look,
that
I'll
time
even
was
take
beat
it to
my
the
little
NBA. Utah
Are
Jazz
you still
draft.
showing them big bro?
Gotcha. Is that correct? Is that accurate? 18.6, 9.8
No.
rebounds.
Yeah.
boy when he came to my school.
Hey, Lil Spoon. Let me ask you.
No, it do.
When was
It-
the first
it-
time you was able to beat him one-on-one?
It do, but there's nothing else that I could.
Hello, Cal. Hello.
That's the difference
Hello,
between
Cal.
our airplane versus today's airplane. Like our shit is all fucked up.
Hello, Calvin. When was the first time you was able to beat him one-on-one?
Sophomore year of college.
College,
College? The first time you beat him?
That nigga was good, bro.
Well, if I get my back right,
That
boy,
real
you
big
good.
break shit though.
Nah, it was just it's not even that because Will wouldn't even play us. Like
Yeah,
Will
been
got
stopped.
Will got to a point where he wouldn't even play us so we could have a chance to say you can't beat me.
And
Like,
gauge your
when
skills too.
Will saw what was happening with him, really, because it was really him. Because when he was in the 7th grade, he was skilled enough to play with the older guys. Like that wasn't me. Like with my peer group, I was taller, I was faster, I wasn't really better than a lot of guys until like I started to take basketball serious. Like I didn't want to work out.
When did you start taking basketball serious?
Like sophomore year of high school,
Sophomore year of high school.
junior year of high school, something like that.
So when did the real start to turn? Like when did the rankings start to hit?
Junior year of high school.
Junior year was
That
because
17 under AAU year.
was that
because-
because of, okay.
Because I had my AAU team was loaded. Like we had 4 draft picks. We had 12 out of 13 guys go play D1 basketball. And, you know, at that point in time, we had the number 3 overall player in the nation. We had the number
Who was that?
Alfred Amino. We had the number 20 player in the nation, Tony Woods. We had the number 29 player in the nation, Ralph Sampson. And you had me that was right there in that area
Boy,
too.
they got the whole North over there. Then
Yeah.
we called the whole North.
But
out there.
this was before I was a part of that conversation. It just so happened that I was just starting guard on that
And
team.
you playing with niggas that's already
Right.
good.
So now
they come to see
everybody's
them, they
coming
ain't
to
got
watch
no choice
Alfarouk play.
But
And he's
Yeah,
brown.
because Norcross on 2 back-to-back state
Right.
championships too.
They're coming.
And he's
They're
sprouted,
coming
too.
to watch Alfarouk play. At this time, I'm like a 6'4" guard. You know, and I don't really shoot the ball well at this time. I handle it well because I've always been a guard my whole life, but I'm not.
and we
I'm
talked
not
about
really
this.
You were
And we
talking
talked about
6'4",
this,
by the way.
and
bro.
we talked about this off
When
the
you
air
met me,
too.
yeah.
We talked about it off the air a little bit, but the rumor that I heard about you was that you was ambidextrous. Can you talk about that? Because
So-
I gotta know if it's true or not. Like you was 6'5", 6'6" point guard and you're ambidextrous.
So what ended up happening was my father, like anybody else's father growing up, they want you to work on that offhand. Like they, you know, because they see you right-handed naturally. All the drills,
Gonna push it to
you
the
know,
left.
you're going to be going right. Like you do this so well going right. So when I started playing, everything for me was right. And I'm darting up the right side of the floor. And it got to the point where my dad was like, well, you know, let's try to work on this left a little bit. So then, you know, my right hand got taken out of the equation. And I became a left-hand ball-dominant basketball player. But I'm right-handed. So people think when they watch me play like, oh, he's got to be left-handed because I just naturally it feels way better going left. It got to the point where I was, at one point in time during me playing basketball, I was solely going left. Like I ain't even want to put
And
it
they
in my
writing in the
Some
articles.
person look at
Oh
you,
my
mama.
God, this kid is 6'9",
Yeah.
ambidextrous point guard. Why he's one of the top? I'm like, bro, you got dang right. If he's 6'9" and your point guard, that means he could shoot, pass, do everything with either
That's
hand. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy because nowadays you won't hear nobody 6'9" being a point guard, man.
Nah, yeah, that was a few and far between.
Yeah,
gonna be a center.
the narrative changed for me because, like I said, when I started, me Alfarouk, Tony, my AAU team, we played together for 4 years in a row, and you know, when we started, like we were good, but we weren't really like that. And then Alfarouk sprouted from 6'5", 6'6" to 6'9", 6'10".
He did.
And it happened fast. And then we picked up Tony because Tony wasn't always
Just
with
as
us.
fast as his rankings went up.
Right.
He
So-
the rankings fast.
So now all of this is happening, and in the process of it, we're playing games. And one tournament, I'm 6'4", and in the next tournament, I'm 6'4.5", and then we have a week off, 2 weeks off. The next tournament I show up to, I'm 6'8", and it's like, wait, is this the same kid that was just? You know, so
just like that.
yeah. So the crazy part about it is
selling my shoes and giving them back.
so my brother, we have a sister as well. And our sister was, we were always eye level.
Mhm.
And over that summer, it went from us being eye level to me looking
Did she
down.
play basketball too?
Yeah, she did.
That happened that same summer? That's the summer I met y'all.
Yeah, because the crazy part about it is they used to laugh at me, bro. When I take my shirt off, I had stretch marks on my back.
Because you just growing
All up
surprised.
and down my back. Like from the top of my back to the bottom of my back.
Because you was growing so fast.
It was stretch marks. And they, you know, when you look at a woman, they got stretch marks, they're going up and down. Mine were going left to right. And it was all up and down my back. So when I took my back off, it looked like somebody had like whooped me.
You and stuff.
Like I had whelps on my back because I literally grew 5-6 inches in a month and a half.
Jesus Christ.
Goodness.
So you're
So-
growing.
In
So
a
as you're
month.
growing, man, obviously your rankings is growing. You're going up in the rankings. You're climbing, and so now you get to your senior year, junior senior year, and you're where you want to be. And you have reached the level of where you think of your big brothers. You know where Wynton is at.
Mm.
So now, what is your thought process? And let's say the recruiting, because now you're getting invites to the Jordan Brand All-American game and all that type of stuff. So now, where is your head at? Like, are you on a high? Are you cocky? Are you still humble about it? Like,
So it's like my brother told y'all before, like everything for us was a competition.
Mhm.
Like from if it's who can get the most groceries out the car going into the crib, it's always a competition. So I just, like he said about Will, I wanted to one up them. I had to one up them. Like I had to find something that could get me one up above them. And you know, the one thing that I regret that I never got to do was win a state championship because I still hear about that shit today. They both got a state championship ring and I didn't.
ooh.
So you know, when we have these high school basketball debates, I kind of got to take a back seat because I never got to experience that state championship level basketball. So you know, for me, when I'm going through, you know, the whole process, what I'm going through, I found my way to get my one up because now, shit, I'm a Jordan All-American. Fuck, it ain't number 20 of these guys in the nation. So I got my one up on him now. So like, I'm almost to the point where like, I'm satisfied, but he transfers. So like I said before, he's 4 years older than me. So he transfers from Virginia Tech to George Washington. The whole time I'm going through my recruiting process, I'm eliminating every school that even said something bad about him. Like we're not even talking. It's not even a thing. Like I don't even want y'all to think y'all have a chance at recruiting me because I'm not coming. So he's at George Washington. And when he decides to transfer, he has the red shirt year, which means
y'all can play together finally.
I get a year. So
Yeah.
automatically for me, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to George Washington. I don't care. I don't want to hear what nobody else has to say because my whole life
You only
I've
got
had one
time.
goal, and that's I want to play basketball with my brother. Like I want to play organized basketball with my brother. And I finally got the opportunity. And Wynton was like,
not knowing
Boy,
that even
please.
if you
Do
come,
not.
you don't mean
Do
you
not.
gonna play with me.
he
'Cause
said,
you a freshman.
he
I told
told
him
me,
if he
if
came-
you come here, I will fight you every day.
I told him I'm fighting every single
On
day.
site.
Do not
We're gonna
come
fight
on
every
site.
day if you come to school here.
And
Do
that's,
not
that's
waste
bro,
it.
what better advice can you get than that right there, dog? That's love
So you
right
know,
there.
for me, it was like to be so close to that.
Mhm.
I didn't really care about the outcome. Like for me, I wanted that. Like I know you watched the 6 man growing up, like being able to play ball with your brother, like with your not your partner you grew up
That's
with,
your brother.
not your homeboy or your cousin. This is my blood brother, like my brother, like my older brother,
Who you
one of
look
my
up
role
to.
models,
Yeah.
right? One of my original role models. Like I finally got a shot. And not only is this organized basketball, this is at a big stage. Like we gonna have ESPN games. I'm thinking like the marketing is gonna be crazy. The Spoon brothers going here, and you know, and when he told me what he told me, it was like, all right, well, you know, that's over with. So now I gotta figure out what's next, because when the opportunity presented itself at the beginning of my recruiting process, I'm like, ain't even nothing to talk about. Like I don't care what other schools is recruiting me. I don't care because I'm going to play ball with my brother. Like, that's it. And you know that got washed away, and you know then my focus shifted from playing with my brother to figuring out what was best for me. And you know the recruiting process is a dirty game. Like you know it's dog eat dog, and every coach, especially when you go through that home visit part of your recruiting, They'll come sit in your crib and they'll tell you everything you want to hear.
I mean,
So Elijah
what do you
Deceit.
expect? Like I said, you're Jordan Brand All-American. You were AJC All-State First Team selection. You averaged 18 and I'm gonna say 10, 18 and 10 rebounds a game and 4.5 assists. So, I'm pretty sure you got every major college coach lying to you.
Yeah, so
coming to tell you everything.
I would to this day I would never put a name on this coach. I won't even say the school. But I had a head coach from the school come sit in my living room. I'm a 17-year-old kid at this time. He came and sat in my living room, and he made him and every one of his assistant coaches get on their knees in my living room.
What?
And literally begged me, Wesley, please come to this school because we need you. I said, Coach, please get up.
Dang.
There's no way I'm coming to your school now because I can't respect you as a man.
Absolutely.
Wait, him and all of his assistants got on his knees?
And 3 assistant coaches.
Was it a major?
I quit.
What was the?
No, it was the school was. It's a good school, and they produce pros. Yeah, absolutely. And he's a respected coach. Like if I said his name, y'all would be like, no fucking
You
way.
gotta tell me y'all.
Yeah,
Off camera.
No, like no way he did that. And for me, when I saw it happen, I was like, come on, like get up. You feel me? Like I can't come to your school now, even if it was a possibility in the back of my mind. I can't come to your school now because I don't respect you as a man. So, going through the whole recruiting process for me, I was able to eliminate schools off the whim because of how they did my brother. And then when I went through the home visit process, I was able to eliminate schools that didn't send their head coach. So now, in my mind, I'm thinking,
You ain't sending your top guy.
I'm the
You
prize,
don't want me.
right?
Yeah,
I'm the prize.
Y'all want me.
Don't send the associate manager. I need to talk to the CEO. Like I want to talk to the head honcho. I want to talk to the guy. So schools like Michigan State, I talk to Izzo on the phone
That's a
all
gem
the
you
time.
just dropped, by the way.
Absolutely.
You dropped the gem.
Boom.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
just dropped the gym with the head
But you
honcho
know-
not coming to see you.
You can't want me that bad. So that was my thing. So, I had like Izzo. I like Michigan State and I like Izzo. Like we had deep conversations, on the phone and blah, blah, blah. But the home visit, he didn't come. I wrote him off. We can't rap. Kansas was the same way. I talked to Bill Self on the phone. Home visit, Bill Self done show. I'm out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So out of all the coaches that came and did their home visit, Texas showed up and showed out. This is Rick Barnes. Rick Barnes is at Texas and he comes to the crib and I'm sold on Texas. I'm like, shit, I'm going to Texas. Like I'm locked in on Texas. This is right after Katie was there. Damian James was there.
We played him that year. DJ Augustine
left. AJ Abrams, yep, Dexter Pittman. All those guys were at Texas. So I'm like, shit, I'm going to Texas. Like it's lit. My last home visit ends up being Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
There.
So Memphis and Cal them showed up
Did
to my
Cal
house.
have Doja call you?
No.
Okay.
Cal showed up to my house, 4 black cars deep. They pulled up like the mafia. And I lived in a cul-de-sac. So I'm anticipating them coming because they told me a time. So I see these 4 black cars pull into the cul-de-sac. And I'm peeking out the blinds like, who in the, like,
We pull up like this.
who the hell is this? And every coach gets out their own car. Chuck Martin, DK, Cal, Robes, they all get out their own car. And they pull into the crib. Sit down. I introduce them to everybody in the crib. They knew mostly everybody. I had my best friend, TJ Smith. My Uncle Smitty, they're all in there. Like they wanted to experience that too. So
That's dope.
So, they're in the meeting with me and I introduced them. And the first thing Cal says, he shows this little video, cuts the video off, closes his laptop. Well, kid, I want you to come to Memphis, but I don't need you.
Oh.
And I was like, oh shit. Like,
Got your attention now.
yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, like,
Folks on their knees a few visits ago.
right. And he tells me, like, look, I
You
want you,
pull
bro.
up back cars.
You feel
You
me?
giving me
The
presidential
suits-
treatment.
look,
treatment.
suits walk
I'm
in.
thinking you finna come in here and do something on the
Yeah,
same.
I'm thinking he really about to try to sell me on coming to Memphis. The first thing out of his mouth
Because you in the
is,
same class with Reek. Everything.
yes, number 3 recruiting class in the nation, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Throw that out there.
so they sit down after the
Another
video.
one up. Another one up.
Another one up.
After the video, literally, this is the first thing comes out of his mouth. He's sitting there cool and collected. DK and him sitting down, soup's on. Yeah, Wesley, I want you to come to Memphis, kid. but I don't need you. And everybody that was a part of my side of that meeting did the same thing.
What you mean?
Oh shit! Like,
what's going on
no,
here?
this motherfucker. Like, how you trying to buy this car? You gon' you don't. I want the car. I don't need this car though.
I like it.
Yeah, this a
Well,
nice
the
car.
car
This is a nice car, but I
Very,
don't
very
need
productive
it.
car. Very
You feel me?
efficient and productive car.
So me being in the process of, I've just had 25 home visits. You know, I eliminated half because the head coach didn't come. You know, some of these schools came with their head coach and they was just on some bullshit. We gonna retire your jersey. We gonna. I don't want to hear that. I'm sick of hearing that. So at the end of the home visit process, I just knew Calden was coming with that same type of vibe, like the car salesman shit. Cal's never been a car salesman. So he tells me that, and I'm like, damn, he just shook some shit up for me.
You competitive too, so you trying to
Yeah,
figure
so
out,
I'm
hold
like,
on, you don't
now,
need me.
in my mind, I'm thinking
Who
like,
better than me?
I'm thinking like you got me fucked up. Like, yeah, like you got me fucked up at this point in time. So, you know, we sit down and it comes down to 3 schools. When, you know, when it really gets down to the nitty gritty, my options are 3 options. I got Texas. I got
Who's
Memphis.
number 1 on the board right now?
Texas is my number 1. It's everybody's number 1.
Mhm.
Memphis, and I got Virginia. Shout out to Dave Lato. Dave Lato was my guy at Virginia. The only reason I didn't go to Virginia is because they were just really, really bad. Like, I wanted to go to Virginia. Silver Landisburg would have been a part of my recruiting class. Would have been nice, but I just didn't want to. I didn't want to chance it. So another way Memphis kind of backdoored Texas in that aspect is I go to one game that whole year at Memphis. I go to one game recruiting. Now, mind you, they came to so many of my games. You know, they was coming to my high school, and I go to one game, and it's the 1-2 game, Memphis versus Tennessee, at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. This is number 1 versus number 2 in the nation. Like not like on some in-state, right? This is like literally number 1 in the nation versus number 2 in the nation.
It's D Rose, right?
Yes,
It's
this
D-Rose.
is Chris Lofton. This is the only game. This is the only game I go to all year.
Mind you, I'm on the team and I'm red-shirted, and so I don't get to play, but I get my tickets, and I eventually I get the tickets for the best seat in the house. I get to sit on the bench,
man,
and I get to sell. Man, I don't care. I get to sell my tickets, bro.
Cam will tell you.
You might be able to cut that. I sell my tickets for $600 a piece.
Cam will tell you, bro. Cam will tell you that environment in that FedEx Forum environment is different because the city of Memphis that
they was
the
behind
pro team,
that team.
Because I mean the Grizzlies didn't really have.
No. It was the kids.
Yeah,
it was the kids they had. Like they had
city,
some real life.
The city of the city. That their story. Period.
Gotti was coming to the games and stuff like that. It was like real life hood. Like there was more people coming to the Memphis college games
than the Grizzlies.
Than the Grizzlies.
You hear me tell you, it's 4 cities I don't play around in. I tell you that all the time. Miami, Buffalo, New Orleans, and Memphis.
But Memphis is love if they rock.
If they know you.
If they rock with you, Memphis is love.
So that one game I go to, the atmosphere is crazy. Like I'm like, there's no way this is a college. First of all, this is not a college game. Because it's 18-5 in the building and it's shoulder to shoulder. Standing room only. It's crazy. And it's a great game. So Memphis loses. It's the only game they lose all year into the championship. And so I'm like, man, I done came to this damn game and they lost, bro. It's my fault, bro. Fuck it, I got to go to Memphis, girl. I got to go to Memphis.
You took it personally as a competitor, like
they
had me, we beat Tennessee.
No, I'm thinking like if I don't come to that game, I don't come to that game, I think they win.
Gotcha.
So now they're undefeated going into the tournament. Gotcha. You know, they're the number 1 overall seed. You know, saying CDR, D Rose, Joey Dorsey, Taggart, Robert. They're playing great basketball right now, beating the shit out of everybody. So during that tournament run. They smoked Kevin Love and Russell Westbrook. They smoked Michigan State. Like not like beat them. They smoked them. They beating the shit out of everybody. I'm watching it and I'm like,
D Rose in his back.
I'm like, I got to be a part of that, cuz. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to Memphis. And so I choose Memphis. And they go to the championship game. And I'm like, shit, it's 6 hours away. I know my people could get in the car. They could get there fast. You feel me? Like Texas, shit, that's a 12-hour drive. I don't know nobody making that 12-hour drive, cuz. And you know, we wasn't poor, but you know, we ain't have it.
Not the big 12-hour drive there and back.
Not even that.
That's a day.
Yeah, so you know, my father don't mind driving. But you know, nobody wants to make that drive. And flights is expensive.
You play and stuff too.
Yeah, flights expensive. And I see how troubling it was trying to get to Blacksburg, Virginia.
That was 6 hours though.
Trying to get to DC.
DC was
like
hard.
them trips was it was
them
tough.
flights ain't cheap to DC.
You
either,
feel me?
no
So it was
another learning curve for you to be like, all right, man,
go on now, boy.
I gotta be in close enough proximity so they can make a drive.
So you was another learning
So
curve.
I'm like, you know what? Memphis is my choice. Now, mind you, nobody else wanted me to go to Memphis. And when I picked up the Memphis hat.
So is this the point in time based on the decision that you disappointed?
No, he's fine with this one.
Okay.
He's actually one of the only ones that was okay with my decision to Memphis. So I choose Memphis.
You do a hat draw.
I got 3 hats up there. 4 hats actually, because I had a Colorado hat up there too. So it's 4 hats up there.
What hats
It was Memphis, Texas, Virginia, Colorado. Those are my 4 hats.
And 4 feet, no.